Hi guys, got another book bite for you. It is The Shadow Crosser by J.C. Cervantes, and it is one of the Rick Riordan Presents books. So this is the third in the trilogy. It's called the Storm Runner trilogy, and the first one is the Storm Runner. The second one is the Firekeeper, and this one is the Shadow Crosser. So let me read you what it says on the inside of the cover. Zane Obispo has been looking forward to his training at the Shaman Institute of Higher Order Magic, and not only because it means he'll be reunited with his best friend Brooks. Anything would be better than how he has spent his last 3 months, searching for the remaining Godborns with a nasty demon who can sniff them out, literally. But when Zane tracks down one last kid on his list, he's in for a surprise. The one is actually a pair of twins, and they're trying to prevent a mysterious object from falling into the wrong hands. After a shocking betrayal, Zane finds himself at SHIHOM, which is the Shaman Institute of Higher Order Magic, sooner than expected. Even more shocking is the news that the Maya gods have gone missing. The bat god, Kamazotset, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, Sikik, aka Blood Moon, have taken them out of commission, and the Godborns are their next target. The only thing the villains need now, the object that the twin possesses. Zane knows the Godborns aren't strong enough yet to stand up to Zotz, Zikskik, and their army. There might be a way to save the gods, but it involves locating a magical calendar that can see across time and space, not to mention traveling more than 30 years into the past. In Shadow Crosser, Zane and his friends embark on their most treacherous mission yet, a mission that, with one blunder, could change history as we know it, or worse, destroy the universe. Yikes. All right, so the author wrote a note at the beginning, so definitely we should read this. Dear reader, you were probably expecting this letter to be from Zane Obispo, our young hero. But this book is different from the other two. Zane, a worthy scribe, could not write the introduction this time. There is a reason, one you may or may not like, depending on the type of narrative you prefer. I, for one, did not enjoy parts of this account, neither the tragedy and sorrow nor the terror and darkness. Like the Mayan gods, I was ripped from my life and thrown into the middle of this twisted, sordid tale. Sadly, none of us saw the end coming. I doubt you will either. Nevertheless, like all stories, this one must be recorded and preserved. By reading it, you are giving energy to the words on the page and feeding a much greater magic for all storytellers everywhere. Thank you for doing your part. Truly, I am sorry for what you are about to experience. Yours in story, Itzamna. Yikes. Chapter 1. My life pretty much tanked the night I left home with a 2,000-year-old demon. Wait, tanked isn't the right word. It was more of a slow unraveling, like a thread that becomes loose in an old sweater that can never be fixed, no matter how hard you try. All you can do is wait for the dumb hole to get bigger, 1 centimeter at a time. I should have seen the signs, but in my defense, I was distracted. You would have been too, if you had slept the last 3 months, 2 days, and 16 hours in a flea bag motel, eating cardboard hamburgers and soggy tater tots, catching nasty whiffs of Iktan's demon breath. For the record, demons don't brush their fangs, and 2,000 years is a long time to go without Colgate. As if it weren't bad enough, my mom told me that regardless of the fact that I was Godborn hunting, I had to do all my distance education homework, which meant hours hunched over my iPad. I had also spent way more time than I wanted to admit looking over my shoulder, expecting Kamazotset's, Mr. Bat God, to appear out of a trail of black fog so he could rip my head with his iron claws. I was pretty sure he had dreamed of nothing else since our battle in the junkyard. So yeah, I was ready to go home, back to Isla Holbox, where everything was sun and sea and safety. I was so close. I felt like I could practically fall over the finish line, because tonight Iktan had tracked down the very last Godborn I was trying to find, lucky number 64. The night had started like this. I tumbled headfirst out of a gateway into a dark alley littered with aluminum cans, Chinese food take-up boxes, and a sofa hemorrhaging its stuffing. The air was thick and muggy. Just this once, I groaned to Ick. Could you make a gateway that doesn't spin me on an extra high and smell like leftover death? Tonight, the demon had taken the form of an 11-year-old girl with a gap-toothed smile and braided reddish hair. She wore denim overalls and a shirt patterned with little red hearts. But I knew what lay underneath it all. A green neon sign on the wall above us gave her a sickly glow. If I looked super close, I could see her natural blue collar underneath the fake human one. Iktan altered her appearance as quickly as someone might change a mask, constantly seeking a disguise that wouldn't make her itch all over, which was never going to happen because she was allergic to human flesh. The best part of her allergy? She couldn't eat humans. Death is an acquired smell, Zane, Ick said, scratching her dimpled chin. Human skin is like poison ivy. What a stupid invention. Skin or poison ivy? And technically neither is an invention, but I wasn't about to have that convo right then. She growled, both. Whatever. Nothing was going to put me in a bad mood. If all went as planned, in a couple of hours, I would be rid of Itchy Eek and her reeking, churning gateways. I grunted, getting to my feet with the help of Fuego, my cane spear. I was born with a limp. One leg is shorter than the other, and my cane helps me bolt when I need to, like if I'm about to be sliced open by some bloodthirsty monster. Fuego also conveniently turns into a spear when I have to defend myself against monsters. It was a present from my dad, the Maya god Hurakan. So, where are we? I asked. Hell's Kitchen. Hardly hellish if you ask me. It gave a hard grunt. To be more specific, New York City. This is New York City. I stabbed a wedge of discarded styrofoam with my cane, thinking that this dark, seedy alley looked like none of the pictures I'd ever seen of the shining city. Iktan kicked an empty soda can under the sofa with a huff. I know. How could this nice place be Murderer's Row? What a big fat disappointment. In disgust. And why do they call them chicken fingers anyways? Chickens don't even have fingers, only tasty, crunchy feet. I think it's because we eat them with our fingers. Just then, Ick's head snapped up, her eyes burning red, a snarl curling her lips. Crap, I knew that look. She was getting ready to hunt. My stomach squeezed tight. A white cat leaped off a rusty dumpster and zipped down the alley. My arm shot out to prevent the demon from following, but I wasn't fast enough. Ick streaked toward the cat like a tornado. No, I shouted. A few seconds later, I reached the demon at the end of the alley. She was hunched over with her back to me. Breathless groans erupted from her throat, and I swallowed hard. I did not want to see matted cat fur stuck between her teeth. I'd seen it before, and believe me, it was muy disgusting. But when she turned around, she was empty-handed. It disappeared, she panted, and her pupils expanded to so big that her eyes looked black. I wished hard that she wouldn't dress up like a kid. It was seriously disturbing. I looked around. How had the cat escaped? She pushed her bangs off her big forehead. It must have fallen into a gateway. Cats don't just fall into gateways, I argued. Heck, nothing accidentally tumbles into the magical portals that gods and sobernaturals use. It's happened once or twice, she said with a huff. I had a hard time believing her. She was probably trying to save face for failing to catch a skinny Gattino. I don't make the gateways. They're all around us, she let out a forced laugh. Oh, that's right. You can't see them because you're not as powerful as I am. I ignored her 183rd insult and, since I'd never met a demon who didn't know how to kid around, asked, Really? People and animals can just, disappear into them? It's rare. She glanced up like she was trying to recall something. Everything has to align just right. Something about angles, rising planets, unflossed teeth, and other stuff. I never paid attention because I don't really care what happens to humans. It's depressing enough that I have to hang out with you. So that's how you've been getting us everywhere so fast. I'd always wondered how come Itcan never needed a gateway map like my friends Brooke and I had once had to use. How many times do I have to tell you, It growled. Demons are superior to Godborns. Sure, okay, like I said, nothing was going to ruin my almost home good mood. Not even an egotistical, itchy demon. But there was something different about Ictan tonight. Something I couldn't name. Come on, I said, let's go find this Godborn. I still don't understand why we've got to go through all this trouble for a few pathetic half-breeds, she grumbled, falling into step with me. And please do not bore me again by telling me about your vow to Ixtab. I'd promised the queen of the underworld that I would find all the remaining God-born children who were still out there. They deserved to know the truth about who they really were. Let's hurry up and get this over with, Ick went on. She might have looked like a little kid, but she sounded like a mean army sergeant. You know the drill. We establish visual contact, assess the situation, then I make my move. I was going to say, go in for the kill. Enough with the kill stuff, okay? Such a killjoy, she muttered before asking. So, do you feel anything? Yeah, I said. Nausea from your death gateway. Focus harder. You never see me taking this long to do my job, she whined. Like I said, superior. Her only job was to track the Godborns. The rest was up to me and my blood. That's right, I had to make a deposit, half a pint to be exact, into the craptastic blood bank of Ick, so she could learn the stink we Godborns share. Ever since she'd sniffed my blood from a cup, she could pick up a Godborn's odor from miles away. Demons don't have very sensitive noses, unless their prey is right in front of them, like the cat. Instead, they have these little scent receptors that pop out of their necks. It's way beyond gross. Like tentacles. Ictan could follow a single Godborn trail, laid down more than 48 hours before, even in a crowd as big as 10,000. But Ixtab, being a meticulous goddess, had added an extra layer of security. It could only get me within half a mile of the Godborn before the demon would lose the trace. I had to do the rest, using what I call my GPS, Godborn Positioning System. Whenever I got close to a Godborn, I'd feel this kind of cold pull in my gut. I experienced it for the first time when my Bruja friend Wren washed up on the shore of Holbox. Since then, all my time on the road had only made my skills stronger, or, as Ixtab said, fine-tuned. It's this way, I said, leading Ick out of the alley and around the corner. The neighborhood was pretty sketchy at this time of night, with drunks staggering around, lost-looking tourists rolling their suitcases behind them, and a few homeless people hunkering down in shuttered doorways. Ick looked around. So where is the little beast? I turned in a slow circle, waiting for the connection to grow, to tell me which direction to take me. But it was like something was jamming the frequency. Or someone. This sounds really good, doesn't it? Wow. All right, it's at the library for you. The Shadow Crosser. I'll talk to you on Wednesday, guys. Bye.